Hey, good people. This is Rocki with Rocki's Reality, the #1 podcast for unfiltered and unapologetic culture, entertainment, and relationships. Tap in live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as I chat with some of the dopest artists, celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs, and more. Make sure to catch us live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku. See you soon. Okay, welcome back to a new season of Rocki's Reality, you all. As those of you who know me, I had to take a break, usually around the holidays, so I can get my life together. So I hope you all enjoyed, and long time no see. I haven't seen you since 2024. So I'm glad to be back. Welcome back to Rocki's Reality. This season, just promising more unfiltered and unapologetic culture, entertainment, and relationships. We have a plethora of guests. And as y'all know, I always have a purpose to what I'm doing. I'm not just on here talking smack. It is intentional. And so another young Black woman, or queen, I should say, that I came across, who is keeping it 100, because y'all know I have to be authentic. As I tell people, I was born, I was before the social media age. So I know about talking to people to their face. So, and I appreciate how this young woman just keeps it 100 about everything, politics, pop culture, our community. And I love how she comes with the receipts. If you all follow her, Receipts with Reecie, you have seen that. But Reecie Colbert is the host of Sirius XM on Urban View. Sirius XM's The Reecie Colbert Show. I'm going to have to ask her if she's related to Steven, by the way. She is the best-selling author of The Long and Short of It Guide to the 2022 midterms. So we're going to ask her if she's getting that 2026 guide for the midterms coming up. She is also a political commentator and pop culture commentator and founder of Black Women Views Media. And she is an alumnus of UCLA and Northeastern University. So welcome to the stage, Reecie Colbert.
Rocki.
Welcome, Reecie.
Hey, Rocki. Thank you for having me.
So usually if I was in the studio, my guy Joe would have my sound effects. I'll just do it. That's for you. I always believe in giving people their flowers while they are here. I don't believe in I'm gonna be crying over your casket after you gone. I want to tell you why you here.
Period.
I appreciate you and thank you for all that you do and your commentary and just keeping it 100 about all of the shenanigans and bullshit that we experience in this life. So I just want to thank you for that. And thank you for accepting my invitation. You have been on some heavy hitting major networks such as MSNBC, Roland Martin, which by the way is one of my role models. I met him about a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was here in Detroit. And of course he was keeping it 100 and just, cluing us into a lot of things as he always does.
Yeah.
So I can see why you branched off from, not see why you branched off, but I can see how it grew from there into your own show. So anytime a Black woman is doing the damn thing, and as I said, when I discovered you while writing the Black Love article about Mayor Karen Bass, I said, I have got to have her on the show because the commentary on the fuckery, I love it. I love it. So welcome to the show, Reecie.
Thank you. And I'm honored that I am part of your premiere for 2025. That's very exciting.
Yes. So I usually probably around like November, December-ish, I take a break because you're a wife, you're a mom, the holidays can be holidaying. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
So usually around like December, January, I take a break and then I get back into it in February. So we back in it and we have to be because we part of the 92% and the 92% is tired.
Ooh, child, already.
We tired. Get somebody else to do it. Somebody sent me an email about the Women's March. I was like, no, I'm not. No.
Cancel that.
No,
not doing it.
No, no, I'm not sending a donation. I'm not.
Especially not no donation. Definitely not that.
No. So, and I've been, which by the way, today is February 20th, which is a month. since the second doomsday of this nation. I make
goodness.
no qualms about my political views. And I get this lecture from people all the time, like, oh, you shouldn't talk about politics. And I'm like, no, yeah, I am. Because this is, it needs to be said. And because with my background as a social worker and now in media, I feel like we have to use our voice to call a thing a thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the problem with why Donald Trump is in office is because people feel like politics is over there and it don't have nothing to do with what we got going on over here. And I think now we're seeing with the way that they are dismantling the government in the United States as we know it, that politics, when you don't notice what's happening, means that it's probably working out better than you would expect it to be. Now that everything's hitting the fan, I think now people might be like, oh shit, well, maybe I should have been a little bit more clocked in, a little bit less worried about Kamala and whether she was black enough, and a little bit more worried about
and if she was laughing too much or she was smiling too much,
right?
Like,
all of that,
majoring and minors, just bullshit. And my concern is for the vulnerable who cannot help themselves, the seniors, those who I was watching an episode with you and Erica, how you all were talking about how DEI being affected can affect as simple as kids not having the resource, a child with autism or ADHD not having the resources they need. And see, that's when it gets serious, because it's not just affecting us. I'm grateful, I'm blessed, I'm part of the middle class, I guess.
Right.
I guess. But for me, and especially as a social worker, that's when it hits home. And me having to tirelessly explain to people that it wasn't about him just eliminating abortion. That's not what this means about reproductive rights. I had to break it down to many people that this means that organizations like Planned Parenthood, which are needed, are at risk, and other resources and education that are needed within our community are at risk. And who are the ones who get the brunt of that?
Yeah.
Black and brown.
Right. So, yeah, but Rocki, I think the thing that's very, very distressing right now is the fact that this cruelty is the point. And we can talk about the disenfranchised, we can talk about vulnerable populations. And there's a good portion of this country that believes that whatever they suffer, it's par for the course, like they deserve it. You know, there are people who think that being poor is a punishment that you have inflicted upon yourself because you didn't pull yourself up by your bootstraps or you didn't work hard enough. There are people who believe that there shouldn't be accommodations for people who have disabilities. There are people like, well, shit, that's your problem, deal with it. And there are people who believe that, you know, healthcare is not a right. Our own Secretary of Health and Human Services refused to call healthcare a human right. And so the unfortunate part that we're seeing with as appalling and as devastating as what Trump and Elon Musk and the Musketeers have been doing is that this is what a lot of people, tens of millions of people in this country want to see. So trying to appeal to the better angels and well, don't you want to make sure that people have food to eat? And they're like, hell no, pack them up. Good luck, bitches. Like, if you can't eat, too bad, die. If you can't get healthcare, too bad, die. If you can't do what you need to do, that's just your bad. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's what really, really, really makes me so sad about the state of our country.
You know what? And then it's just, it infuriates me that people can be that heartless. And that's what I had to tell people last year. This is not about just politics. This is basic human decency here.
That's right.
Do you not understand that? When people, and many a time people know, I don't have a problem on my social media and all of that, letting it know how I feel about Trump.
Yeah.
As a Black woman, there's no way I would ever support something like that. Never, ever in my life. And people are like, well, it's different politics and transgender. That does not have anything to do with being a decent fucking human being. Yeah. You're not even a decent human being. It's not about me debating on, this is not about you like the color red and I like the color blue. This is about basic humanity and the selfishness that we have in this society. And how continually, as it infuriates me continually, how they just get away with fuck shit while we have to perform 100 times better. Yeah, it's a shame that there are still firsts happening for women.
That's
especially
true.
Black women.
That's true.
And speaking of Elon Musk, that recent video of him in the Oval Office discussing the DOGE with his 4-year-old. Do you know if any of us ever attempted to step into a press conference like that with our 4-year-old with us, how we would be crucified? That's what pisses me off. And especially as women, if you're bringing, because it's like women, we're expected to act like we don't work, and we're expected to act like when we at work, we don't have children.
That's true. I mean, that's part of what DEI is, right? It's having lactation rooms for new mothers. You know, it's part of what the Republicans refuse to do, is allow new mothers to vote, you know, by proxy or vote remotely. And so it kind of tracks that the kinds of so-called accommodations, right, that we've been able to garner for ourselves through DEIA. You see Elon Musk bitch ass in there with just being ridiculous, and his little baby boy got more sense than anybody else in the Oval Office. He the only one in there with some damn sense. Now, if he was the one running Doge, I might be a little bit less stressed out. I might be like, well, baby boy, he might be 4, but he at least know Elon Musk is not the damn president. He know that Donald Trump should shut the fuck up. So we already starting off a lot better with whatever the little Neon XAI, whatever the fuck his name is. He will be better suited right now for this moment than Elon.
It is terrible. It's terrible. So, okay.
But can I just say one thing? Because you mentioned trans people, and it's so crazy how trans people became the pretext and the big shiny object, I guess, to wave in front of people.
Exactly.
But here's the thing that trips me out, Rocki. People are debating whether or not trans people should be able to do X, Y, and Z, and then trying to empower people to diminish their existence. They've empowered neo-Nazis and Klan people who have already determined that your humanity has no value. These people are not debating about whether or not Black people are humans, whether or not Black people should be citizens, whether or not Black people should have opportunity or not. They've already determined that our lives have no value and no merit to them. And so it really, really, really irks my soul, or some people say makes my ass itch, that people allowed the existence and the humanity of trans people to allow them to be distracted or be caught up on that, to the point to where you gave the power to people who don't think that we should exist except for in servitude to white supremacists and white nationalism. So I just had to call that out, because they've already made up their mind. When that plane crashed, they made up their mind. It was DEI. Regardless of whatever situation.
How would you even? How was that? And that's my thing with going back to the transgender thing. You're trying to say that he's reflecting Christian values because of that? This fool ain't even put his hand on the Bible during his inauguration. You talk about, he reflects Christian values. Whether you agree with it or not, they're still people. They're still humans. They're still taxpayers.
That's right.
They're still people. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, last time I checked, who I like to fuck or love or marry has nothing to do with me being a decent person, teaching my kids how not to steal, how not to lie, how to be kind to others. It has nothing to do how to pay bills and budget, how to build wealth. It has nothing to do with that, your sexuality. And so it just, it really trips me out, the ignorance. And I'm like, and he didn't give you no damn stimulus check. The level of ignorance, so that's why I love how you come with the fact checks, with the Reese's receipts. I love it, because people know that's sort of how I am as well. Like, we're not about to debate about feelings. I'm about to come with these facts on your ass.
That's right.
It's not about a matter of opinion here. These are cold, hard facts that we seeing happen, because if Obama did 1/8 of what the fuck Trump has done, his ass would have been strung up on a tree.
Oh, for sure.
He would have been lynched.
Hell, even if Biden had done it.
and the level of just how they've attacked Michelle Obama. And I want to segue into the Serena Williams bit.
Okay.
I need Stephen A. Smith to shut the fuck up.
Period.
I'm so sick of him. Like, when it comes to sports, Stephen A. Smith, you the man, okay? I ain't even gonna front that. And even sometimes your sports commentary is a little suspect per my husband, because I ain't gonna front. I'm not a sports fan.
Right. Yeah.
But from what I gather and from what I've watched, you ain't never been married. How are you speaking on what Serena Williams is doing? And her husband seems just fine with it. And let's be clear, it's letting us know that you've missed a bigger picture of her crip walking was not just about her getting back at Drake. That was just a piece of it. And so it really pisses me off the way we scrutinize Black women.
Oh yeah.
Just how we be on a platter for everybody, like, and then when we laugh back, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's always popular to punch down on what people think is punching down on a Black woman, and they know they're gonna get clicks, and they know they're gonna get cussed out, and they know they're gonna be celebrated. But at the end of the day, we need to decenter whiteness. And I'm not one of those people that calls biracials less Black or nothing like that. But I feel like there is part of it where there's additional deference being shown to Drake because he is biracial, also color, because he's light skinned, and so he's gonna get more grace and a little bit more like, well, you kind of have to bow down. Oh, you have to take it easy on him. When they didn't have that attitude, when it was going back and forth, Drake and Meek Mill, which Meek Mill, he whatever with him. But my whole point is that there is this notion that Drake this is all about Drake. Fuck Drake. It's not even all about him. Now he was the foil, and he may have been a catalyst for some of this, but he was a useful instrument, but not the whole point of it.
Exactly.
And then this whole idea of centering around men in general, this opportunity for Serena was about Serena Williams. It wasn't about nobody else. I mean, when you see the behind the stage, scenery, there was rehearsals. She was choreographing, like
had her baby there with her.
Doing the braiding her, combing her hair.
Let's go, baby girl. Her up, preparing this future queen. And the symbolization of her being able to do that when she couldn't do it at Wimbledon. It was like, I can be free on this stage.
Yeah. It was an act of defiance, and it's an act of self-actualization and being autonomous and being a free Black woman who can express herself. And guess what? If she wanted to express herself and say fuck Drake, if she wanted to wear a fuck Drake t-shirt, I would have supported that too. It's not about, let's skirt around the issue. She can do whatever the fuck that she wants to do, because this society is too accustomed to Black women shrinking and Black women not standing on business. And so this was their way of saying, how dare she woman? For whatever reason she was up there, that's her business and that's her right as a free ass Black woman in this country who is iconic, who is one of the most accomplished athletes
ever in history. In
history.
Has won every major tennis championship that you can think of.
Oh, and by the way, came up in an environment that has always been hostile to her. How many times was she disproportionately drug tested? How many times was she talked about for her physique, for her hair, for her outfits, when her and Venus was out there with the beads? So she has been put through the ringer.
And now her makeup, that's been a discussion. Her makeup, her hair, all of that. It's all, always. So
if she want to come out there and crip walk, more power to you. I'm 100% here for it.
Exactly. And husband Alexis, is it Ohanian Alexis? He seemed like he was good with it. And that's why I said, as a married woman and married people, what's between you and your spouse is between you and your spouse. Okay.
That's right.
That is not to be explained. It'll never be explained. People will always have their perceptions. It'll never be explained to anyone else. So that's what kills me when someone like Stephen A. Smith is like, I would have divorced her. You ain't even had a wife to be talking about divorcing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Come on.
Sir.
You didn't make it past the engagement phase. So how are you talking about what a wife would have done? Hypothetical. Don't talk about hypotheticals, motherfucker, because you need, if you can't talk from experience and authority, just
I'm like, for real, like, seriously, stay in your fucking lane. Commentate on sports. Now, if he was talking about her performance in one of the sports events, okay. Yeah. But stick to sports. And so that'd be my thing. Like, we are just under attack from so many levels.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
but this is why I love to highlight women like you on my platform. And I thank you again for your time. And so I
Thank
want
you.
to get, you're welcome. Absolutely. And I hope we can continue in the future. If you ever need a guest, let me know. I'm available. I'm well versed in some shit as well. So, shameless plug.
I ain't mad at a girl.
Listen, I believe in collaboration, but I want to get into how Reecie got to this point. From Reecie's view, I mean, you've been a White House correspondent, you've been in the Griot, you've been in so many different publications, and you ain't new to this. You true to this,
right? It's been a while now.
It's been a while. It's been a while. So, but I just much respect to your resume, and so I just give us a snapshot of how Reecie got to this point.
A lot of it fell in my lap. I would say the number one thing that got me to this point was just showing up as myself and letting that attract whoever rock with it. Mm-hmm. That's really the most basic way that I can describe it. Like I didn't have to do a lot of pitching or, hey, can you do, it was just like people saw me in my element being authentic, or they saw me in other people's programs and they're like, oh, okay, this girl, she ain't comporting herself the way that other people do. She's not conforming to what people believe a political commentator or a Black woman who's intelligent or whatever situation, the little box they try to put us in. So I would just say the number one thing that's got me here was just showing up as myself. And then, if there is a demand for that, then people rock with it. If there's not, then they keep it moving. But in a more specific way, so I started on Instagram. I had a page and I called it Black Women Views. And I really kind of blew up a little bit advocating for Vice President Kamala Harris. At the time, she was Senator Harris. And she was a Black woman running for president. And she wasn't really getting a lot of love, not from prominent Black women. And certainly not from the media. So I kind of stepped in and I filled that gap, even though I was just a working woman, with an opinion and the camera. So doing that really introduced me to a lot of people. So that was 2019. And, getting on Roland Show. I've been on Roland Show since 2019. I've been on Sirius XM since 2020, Clay Kane Show. And I have my show now, the Reecie Colbert Show on Sirius XM. I just celebrated 2 years in January. So, I just think it takes putting out content that you believe in, speaking on things that you believe in with a voice that is authentic, and just being in your own lane and not necessarily feeling like you have to do what everybody else is doing.
Yep, I love that formula because that works for me.
Yes.
Like I said, you see what you get. Like I'm 47 years old. So, and I'm not ashamed to say it because there's a lot of folks who ain't here right now.
Yes. Oh, it's a blessing.
Pandemic. Okay. That's why I truly admire that. Like that. And that's something that is needed, the authenticity and the way you come with the receipts. So how do you decide which stuff you're going to comment on? Because I love how with the Super Bowl and everything. I love it. I'm here for it every day. I'll be going to your page. Like, listen.
Yeah.
Girl. So I feel like it's like my cousin. I'm kicking it with my cousin where you be laughing. Like, this shit. Yeah, that's exactly just like with the Latinos who are now feeling regret. That's
like the Venezuelans.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm not a heartless person.
No.
Passionate, but however, that is what the fuck exactly you get for thinking that piece of shit was gonna have y'all back.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I there's so much content out there, right? There's so many people, and I love that. Like, you can go to whoever you want to hear things. So I usually just try to figure out, like, what isn't being said in the way that I would say, like, what's the perspective that I can add to it? A lot of what I do is receipts, right? So I might connect some dots that other people aren't necessarily connecting. I might just cuss a motherfucker out because somebody need to get cussed out, but usually what animates me more than anything is defending Black women. And I'll defend Black women when it's all popular. Like, it wasn't popular to be a Kamala Harris supporter in 2019. Trust me, it wasn't. Okay. No. I think you mentioned earlier about how, you followed up on some work that I did for Mayor Bass. when she was being attacked over the LA wildfires, when I spoke up and made a video for her, it wasn't the thing to do when you had Kardashians and you had all these people talk about, recall Karen Bass. But I did it anyway because I want Black women to feel like we have somebody who's going to have our back, particularly when there's an injustice against us or when there's unfair attacks. So usually when it comes to defending Black women, I'm going to be right there. And then when it just comes to bringing receipts and connecting dots, then you're going to definitely see me show up on that.
Yep. All day. And I appreciate that because, I definitely love to have structure my platform that way as well. Like I'm riding for the Black woman. I'm rooting for everybody Black.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even when she wrong, I'm a call it out in a way that it's a reason.
Yeah,
it's a reason behind the shit. It's a reason.
Give us some praise. Yeah,
Right. And I feel like we are our best advocates. We are.
Yeah,
we are our best advocates. We are our best advocates. So for you though, what do you advise? How do we get ready for these midterms 2026, Reecie? Are you going to do another guide like you did for 2022? Are you going? We might need another guide.
It's so funny because her mom was like, "So you gonna start working on 2026?" I said, "Yeah, we ain't got to the primary. We don't know who's running." But I probably will. Do another book on the Republicans. They're giving us a lot of fodder right now. But yeah, I want to shake us out of this apathy and this disillusionment. And to be fair, we're targeted so that we will be disaffected and disillusioned, and we're targeted with disinformation. And so there's more work that we have to do. But I think we have to be vigilant in terms of what we're ingesting. This administration is trying to push out traditional media and put in their propagandists. And so they're more organized on the other side in terms of Republicans with just feeding us with junk, feeding us with disinformation, things like we talked about earlier, the trans issue. Trump took over the Kennedy Center and talked about it was drag shows. I was at the Kennedy Center for D-Nice Club quarantine. So, I think that we have to just make sure that we're getting our facts straight and that we just stay engaged.
Right.
But in the meantime,
very wokey when he was talking about, and then he says the president's it's going to be hot because it's hot that I'm president or something to that effect. I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about?
I missed that girl.
This was some audio that Trump had where he was talking about, which by the way, shout out to Shonda Rhimes because she resigned from the board once he was appointed. She was like, I'm done with this shit. But he was talking about it. He's just like how it's a lot of wokeness and we're going to make it better and we're going to make it hot because me being the president is hot and just some fuck shit. Like
I'm so sad about that. I'm so sad.
It's like we are living in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Well, we're living in a repeat of history. I mean, this isn't new. It's new-ish to us because we haven't seen anybody just abuse power and disregard things in a way that not just Donald Trump, but his entire apparatus is designed around that, the people he's surrounded with. So it's girl, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go give me some euros. I'm gonna give me I gotta get a survival kit. That's what I know. Hopefully I don't have to use it, but that's that first steps first is getting a survival kit. And then next step will be eventually writing a book for the midterm. If we make it that far.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming, Reecie. And you know what? That's funny. My daughter was just saying that because she's an environmental justice major.
Okay.
Awesome. She's graduated from Spelman in May. So yay for that. But she was just so dejected because she was like, he's probably going to get rid of the environmental agency, all of that stuff, which he already has started to. And she's just like, it's just like the world is going to burn up. Like, she's like, I don't even want to have kids because she's like, the way this is going, she was like, because he doesn't give a damn about the environment. Like, he doesn't give a shit about stuff like that. But I appreciate how when you were speaking with Governor Westmore and how he gave some positive, we got to stay positive. We do.
We do. We do.
We got to stay hopeful for what can be. So on that note, I want to end with some fun stuff.
Okay.
Always. And again, I appreciate you coming. Where can people follow you first so they can get more receipts?
Reecie Colbert on all my socials, ReecieColbert.com. And then my YouTube channel is Black Women Views.
Love it, love it, love it. So I want to finish with some 5 favorites to get to know people a little better. Okay. All right. So we know you a K-Dot fan. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I've been a Kendrick fan. By the way, I forgot that he won a Pulitzer Prize back in 2018. I'm like, come on now with the brilliance. But who is your favorite music artist besides K-Dot?
Well, it's gonna be Mary J. Blige.
Yes. Oh my God. Listen, wait a minute. What's your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Oh my God, I love it. I'm an Aries.
Oh my God, Aries. My daughter's an Aries.
Huh?
My daughter's an Aries.
Oh gosh, yes, Hunty. Let's go. I love it. It's like Aries and Libra are like the yin and the yang to each other. Oh my gosh. I have so many Libras that I love. Okay, so favorite music artist, favorite food.
Ooh, steak.
Okay, so how do we like it? Is it medium?
I like mine medium. I like a roasted garlic. I like a lot of salt. I like my steak salty. That's probably the one bad thing. I like my steak salty. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Okay. Favorite travel destination?
Ooh, it used to be London. I used to love London, but I'm going to say, so I've been a lot of places. I would go back. I would love to go back to Thailand. So I would say Thailand. I would love to go back to Thailand.
Oh, I love that. I'm on my way to Puerto Rico next month, and I am just like, I cannot wait to lay on the beach. Okay, I'm just but I want to go to Thailand. Was it Bangkok you went to? Or
I went to Phuket and to Bangkok. I had the time of my life in Phuket. Bangkok was great too, but they had some political stuff, so I wasn't as like, we don't want to break no laws. But Phuket is just wow. It's just completely bad shit. So I would love to go back to Phuket again. But that's I have other places I want to get to first.
Right. Got it. What has been, with all the stuff that you've done in your career, Reecie, what has been your favorite moment thus far?
Oh my goodness. Favorite. Oh, I haven't thought about a favorite. If I had to pick, well, my favorite has been getting my own show. My favorite has been the very first Reecie Colbert show. I've had some great episodes too, though, that I've been like, oh, that was a good one. So yeah, I would just say like it has to be getting my own show. That would have to be it. Yeah. But I've had so many incredible moments. There are certain things that happen and you like, okay, have I made it just a little bit? Like, have I done a little something? So yeah, but it's all
goals. Let's crush these goals.
Yeah,
dreams coming to fruition. Okay,
it is. I'm working on sitting with it a little bit more because it's so busy. So sometimes things come and go, and sometimes I might hit a certain number of followers, and I'm like, oh well, next time, So I'm trying to work on more sitting in the moment,
enjoying it. Yes. Ooh, I think that's a high achiever syndrome. I always be like, okay, what's next? I did this. Now what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
And sometimes I've had to start going back through my old journals to read, and I'm like, damn, I don't remember. I forgot that like I have to remember, like, damn, I did interview that person. I did do this. I did. Okay. So yes, let's take those moments because it's so crazy busy. Okay. Last favorite accessory.
Earrings. I gotta have big earrings. I'm not a big ones, not the little. So yeah.
Let's put them up to the camera. Let's see that.
These are Koi, a Black woman owned jewelry. And but my favorite normally, like if I'm going out, I always wear my cousin. She makes these gorgeous earrings, and her earrings are called dazzling bands. So you will always see me with a big hooped earring or a big earring. Yeah.
I love it. And it looks good on you. I love
Thank
it. That's
you.
part of what I love about being a woman. We can just do all type of fancy, cute shit. I love it, especially as a Black woman. And we come in all shapes and shades. I just love us. So,
yes, we are just a little buffet of beauty.
Listen, I told my daughter we are part of an elite group. Like being a Black woman, even though it may seem burdensome at times, I love it. I would not want to ever be a white woman, an Asian woman, a Latinx. Nope. I love being a Black woman. So
me too.
And I love us. So I'll be tuning in. Reecie Colbert show is Saturdays at 3.
It's 2. So it's 2 hours now. Saturdays from 2 to 4 on channel 126. You can also catch it on demand on the SiriusXM app. A lot of people don't know that they have access to the app. Like if you have a SiriusXM subscription in your car, go figure out how to get the app on your phone because it's included. So some people are like, I'll be sitting in the car and listen. I'm like, girl, you can turn it on the app, right? So yeah, you don't have to sit in the car. You can get it on the app as well.
Right, maximize that monthly subscription. Shit, you paying for it? Look, let me get all the stuff for my coins, okay?
Right, exactly.
Value. So it was great speaking to you, Reecie. And this is not goodbye. This is see you later.
Yes.
Feel free to reach out to me, and I hope in the future to do the same. And look forward to hopefully meeting you in person at some point the next time I make it to DC, or if you make it to Detroit.
Yes, honey.
Come on into the D, baby. Come visit.
I will.
Yeah. So take care so much.
Thank you, Rocki. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome.